all for being here with us. I represent Tennessee's 7th District. Fort Campbell is in that district, and of course we have the wonderful 101st, the 160th, and the 5th Division. And when I'm on post and when I'm talking with many of our men and women in uniform, a couple of different things come up. They all have to do with readiness, and I appreciated your comments about lost readiness, and I think that one of the lessons we learned through the 90s is when you do these drawdowns and not carefully, that there are consequences to pay. But looking at Europe, and this is one of the things that people are talking about now in my district, they're looking at the force structure that we have there in Europe, and they're concerned this may go away. So I want to talk with you about that and just have you, Mr. Secretary. I've told them if I ever got a chance to ask you, I would ask you. So here we go. What purpose does this serve to have that permanent force there, and what is it there for? Is it there to counter Russia? Is it there to make it better, easier to serve as a launch point to get to other parts of the world? If we had another Benghazi-style crisis somewhere in North Africa or Israel or the Middle East, how would we handle it if we did not have a place like Europe to go from? How badly would it impair a commander's options? Or degrade his ability to respond if we didn't have it? And, you know, just talk to me about Europe for about a minute. And I've got one other comment to add once you do. So.
Well, I'll be very brief. I'm going to ask the General to respond too, because this has been his whole life. Just very briefly, I think you listed a number of reasons why we need forward deployed forces. It's force projection, of course. That's the whole point of the rebalancing Asia-Pacific. It is time, it is schedules, it is options. Benghazi, a good example. The Congress continues to ask a lot of questions about what happened in Benghazi. Why weren't we there? Could have we been there? What was the time? It's clearly in our national security interest to have that forward deployed option, because if you don't have it, then the only option you have is you bring them out of the United States, and you can't respond. The world is too hair-triggered. It's too fast. It's changed. We don't have any options, and so things happen like that. So I think your list of questions actually was a list of answers as well.
I have nothing to add.
And that's the first time the General's ever said he had nothing to add.
Well, and I will just say the Flying Hours program, I have worked with the committee to add in the funds to continue that. I was very concerned about the loss of 500 aviators, and I would just ask you all to work with Army to be certain that that program continues in 2014.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Lee.
Thank you very much. Thank you.